With the release of the Flash movie comes a new DC universe with new versions of Batman and the Speedster himself, but without a doubt, the most confusing moment of the movie was when it was revealed that Superman had actually lost his life. But what would you think if I told you that Kal-El is actually alive? In this video, we'll be talking about Superman's return. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. The premise of the Flash movie is based on a popular comic book storyline known as Flashpoint, which we've already talked about several times on this channel. In this story, Barry Allen tries to change the past to save his mother, thus creating an alternative future. However, this future is radically different and brings a series of changes. Batman is different, and one of the most notable changes is the absence of Superman. In this alternate reality, Superman's cousin, Kara Zor-El, takes his cousin's place. In a terrifying turn of events, we discover that General Zod and his army found the capsule that was to transport Kal-El, who we know as Superman, to Earth. Zod attempted to extract the genetic information of the Kryptonians from the body of baby Kal-El, a process that unfortunately resulted in his death. Thus the future Superman we know never came to exist in this universe. On the other hand, Kara Zor-El had a different fate. She was found by the Russians and held captive in Siberia. At first, Kara did not want to be a heroine. However, she was inspired by the courageous rescue of Barry Allen. Not knowing who or what she was, he risked his life to save her. Spurred on by this, Kara confronted Zod in the film's climactic fight, as the only one capable of standing up to the Kryptonian villain. The revelation that the Kryptonian genetic code was actually inside Kara, and not Kal-El, set off a series of events that culminated in Supergirl's death. Zod, while trying to extract this genetic code, ended up killing her, just as he surely would have killed Kal-El. The discovery of Kal-El's death and the revelation of his own tragic fate scarred Kara, and thus, the Flash universe. Kara's death resulted in a devastating loss, but her sacrifice served as a wake-up call for Barry and Batman, awakening them to the consequences of their actions and decisions. This unexpected fate of Superman, or rather his absence, has left fans baffled and with many questions. Could this really be the end of Superman? Could Kal-El somehow be alive, or exist in another timeline? First, let's examine the logic behind Kal-El's death. We know that the extraction of the genetic code was a deadly process, powerful enough to kill the teenage Kara. No doubt it would have been even more lethal for a baby. But what if there were factors we haven't considered? What if Kal-El somehow survived? One theory is that Kal-El is still alive, but is trapped in one of Zod's ships, and Zod lied to Supergirl to emotionally deconcentrate her during the battle. Surely, the extraction of the genetic code, which was fatal to a Kryptonian in her teens like Kara, could have been even more devastating to an infant like Kal-El. But what if there were unknown elements that we haven't accounted for? Could there be a chance that against all odds, Kal-El survived? One hypothesis that has been generated suggests that Kal-El could be alive, but trapped aboard one of Zod's ships. If true, this means that Zod lied to Supergirl during their confrontation, using Kara's emotional distress over her cousin's supposed death as a tactic to distract her in battle. This Machiavellian maneuver would not be beyond the reach of a character like Zod, whose desire for survival and dominance has proven stronger than any sense of morality or loyalty to his fellow Kryptonians. Could it be that Zod, upon finding Kal-El's capsule, decided to keep the young Kryptonian prisoner, aware of his invaluable potential? Also, considering Kal-El's ability to absorb energy from Earth's yellow sun and transform it into superhuman strength, endurance, and speed, it is plausible that he could have withstood the genetic code extraction procedure that killed Kara. So how would Superman return in an upcoming film? One way Superman could return for an upcoming film would be for Barry Allen, already aware of the consequences of altering the timeline, decides to go back and change the past to prevent Kal-El's death. However, this path would involve going back into the murky territory of altering history, with the possibility of new, and perhaps more catastrophic consequences. Another option would be that in a future film, the heroes discover the truth about Kal-El's survival and launch a rescue mission to free him from Zod's ship. Finally, we could have a combination of both theories, where Barry attempts to correct the timeline, but is unable to completely prevent Kal-El's capture. However, his intervention allows Kal-El to survive the genetic code extraction procedure and become trapped in Zod's ship. The heroes later learn the truth and undertake the rescue mission. Maybe the new Batman with Supergirl and Flash will rescue a Superman who wasn't raised on Earth, but was raised on this ship with Zod. Maybe it's a Superman who is evil at first, but then becomes good and helps humans. Although the actor who played Superman will no longer be playing the character, it is possible that in the next few years we will see him return. But tell me, what are your thoughts on all this? Do you think Superman is really alive? Do you think Barry will travel back in time to prevent Kal-El's death? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You're on the Oasis Geek.